Every World Cup has a group of death, the one stacked with giants, the one everyone circles on the calendar. But this summer, the group everyone's actually arguing about isn't that one. It's the one with no king, no clear favorite, for teams who all believe, genuinely believe, they're getting out. This is Group D, the host nation's dream, an Italian's Turkish wonder kids, a battle-hardened Australia, and the most stubborn defense in South America. And by the time it's over, somebody big is going home early. Quick reset, because the math matters this year. This is the first 48-team World Cup, 12 groups of 4. The top 2 from every group go through automatically, and then the 8 best third-place teams join them in the round of 32. Translate that, in Group D, you might finish third and still survive. Which means every single point is a lifeline, nobody can afford a quiet game. So here's the cast, the United States, co-hosts, and the highest-ranked side in this group. Turkey, back on the biggest stage for the first time in 24 years. Australia, the Socceroos, who refuse to know their underdogs. And Paraguay, the team nobody wants to play, and you'll find out why. On paper, the USA are favourites. On paper, we're about to find out how little that paper is worth. Start with the team carrying a continent on its back. Mauricio Pochettino was hired with one job: take the United States further than they've ever been. And here's the uncomfortable truth: in their last 3 World Cups, the Americans have never gone past the round of 16. Now they're hosting, the eyes of the entire planet are on them. No team in this tournament is under more scrutiny than the US men's national team, and they know it. The good news? They've got a real spine. Christian Pulisic, the talisman. Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams in midfield. Folarin Balogun up top. That's a frame you can win games with. The warning sign? Last summer, Pochettino's side lost the Gold Cup final to Mexico, a gut punch on home soil. Brilliance and wobble, often in the same week. That's been the story. And here's a wild quirk of the draw: the USA played all 3 of these exact opponents in friendlies last year. They beat Australia, they beat Paraguay, but they lost to Turkey. Hold that thought. Because if there's one team that's turned this group from comfortable into chaos, it's Turkey. 2 things you need to know. 1. The last time Turkey were at a World Cup, in 2002, they went on a fairytale run all the way to 3rd place. 2. Arda Güler and Kenan Yıldız, the 2 kids this team is built around, weren't even born yet. That's the gap, 24 years in the wilderness. And they're back with maybe the most exciting young attack outside the traditional elite. Güler is the jewel, a Real Madrid playmaker coming off the breakout season of his life. Yıldız is the Juventus live wire, and steering it all is the captain, Inter's Hakan Çalhanoğlu, a deadball specialist who's basically a free-kick cheat code. They didn't even qualify the easy way. Turkey finished behind Spain in their group, then had to grind through the playoffs, past Romania, past Kosovo. With Kerem Aktürkoğlu scoring the goal that punched the ticket. There's just one crack in the armor. For all that creativity, Turkey don't have a natural, world-class number 9. Plenty of artists, not enough finishers. Solve that, and Italian coach Vincenzo Morinella has a side that can hurt anybody. Which is exactly why some analysts, NBC Sports among them, are tipping Turkey not just to advance, but to win the group, ahead of the hosts. Let that sink in. The home team, picked 2nd in its own World Cup. And then there's Australia, the team that always seems to ruin somebody's summer. The Socceroos made the round of 16 at the last World Cup, and they have zero interest in just making up the numbers here. Under Tony Popovich, they're the most physical team in the group, relentless, organized, and absolutely lethal from set pieces. Harry Souter towering at the back, Jackson Irvine running through walls in midfield, and the veteran Matt Ryan in goal. This is not a team you out-talent. This is a team that drags you into a fight and counts on you blinking first. And finally, Paraguay, the quiet ones, the team that doesn't want the ball, doesn't need the headlines, and will happily strangle a game to death. Gustavo Alfaro has built the most disciplined defensive unit you'll see from South America. Compact, patient, brutally hard to break down. They might not win you over with flair, but ask any attacker in this group, and they'll tell you 90 minutes against Paraguay feels like 90 minutes against a brick wall. In a group where 1 point can be the difference between the round of 32 and a flight home, a team that refuses to lose is the most dangerous kind of team there is. And remember that quirk from earlier? Every one of these smaller sides has already proven it can hang with the hosts. The USA edged Australia and Paraguay by a single goal each and lost to Turkey outright. 1-goal margins, every time. That's not a gap, that's a coin flip. Here's how it unfolds. June 12th, USA vs Paraguay, in Los Angeles. June 13th, Australia vs Turkey, in Vancouver. June 19th, USA vs Australia in Seattle, and Turkey vs Paraguay. And on June 25th, Turkey vs the USA in Los Angeles, and Paraguay vs Australia. Look at that final match day. Turkey vs the USA, possibly with first place, second place, and survival all still on the line. The hosts, in Los Angeles, against the one team in this group that already beat them. If that's a knockout game in everything but name, buckle up. And this is the whole point. Ask the experts who wins this group, and you get 4 different answers. Some say USA top, some say Turkey top, USA second, some think the hosts could even slip behind that stubborn Paraguay defense. There is no consensus, there is no king. And in a World Cup full of groups you can call before kickoff, this is the one you genuinely can't. That's why Group D is the one to watch, not because it has the biggest names, but because it has the smallest margins. A host nation chasing history, a generation of Turkish kids chasing a ghost from 2002. An Australia that won't lie down, and a Paraguay that just won't break. 4 teams, 2 guaranteed tickets, and 100 ways for it to go wrong for somebody. So here's my question for you, who's your pick to top the chaos, and who's the big name you think crashes out? Drop it in the comments, I read them. If you want the full group-by-group breakdown before kickoff, this is the series for it. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.